It is said that Africans never recorded their history. We are told that our stories, lineage, and traditions were passed down orally from one generation to the next. One scholar even suggested that many Africans can only trace their family tree back to their grandparents, while Europeans can often follow theirs back centuries through written records. For years, I believed that. Then I started asking questions. Because when I looked into my own family history, I noticed something strange. There were gaps, missing pieces, stories that nobody seemed able to explain. And yet, within those gaps, there always seemed to be a common thread. The more people I spoke to, the more I noticed the same pattern. Some knew their family history in detail. Others knew very little. But somehow, those missing pieces always seemed to be there. Which led me to a theory. What if African history was not only passed down through storytelling? What if it was also documented? And what if much of that knowledge was lost, destroyed, stolen, or repackaged over time? Think about it. If our ancestors never recorded anything, then what are the markings and drawings we find on cave walls across Africa? What are those symbols? What stories are they trying to tell? Maybe they are more than art. Maybe they are records. Maybe they are messages from a forgotten past. And here's another question. Why does it seem that whenever there is a gap in history, the Bible somehow appears in the conversation? Coincidence? Influence? Or something else entirely? I don't know. I'm simply asking questions. Because what if those ancient symbols once belonged to languages our ancestors could read and understand? What if that knowledge slowly disappeared as colonial languages replaced indigenous ones? Today we write using the Latin alphabet. In fact, I'm using it right now. But was there once another system? Another way of recording knowledge? Another language that has been forgotten? Then my mind went even further. Where do symbols like infinity, pi, and omega come from? Who created them? Who decided they would become universal symbols understood around the world? At this point, I admit it. My brain is operating at conspiracy theorist level 10.01. But what if some of the technology we celebrate today is actually ancient knowledge rediscovered? What if the past was far more advanced than we realize? And what if there are still people somewhere trying to decode forgotten languages and symbols? I don't know. I truly don't. But here's the thought that won't leave my mind. What if AI doesn't only stand for artificial intelligence? What if it could also stand for African intelligence? What if the real question isn't whether Africans recorded their history, but how much of that history has been lost, and how much is still waiting to be rediscovered? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Chat soon.